here are the luckiest people on the planet. Try to think of the life event that would be most difficult to survive. Atomic blast should be pretty high up on that list. Living through one is darn near impossible, but to survive a second, you must be banging a leprechaun. On August 6, 1945, Tsutomu Yamaguchi was visiting Hiroshima during a business trip. That is the day that the atomic bomb was infamously dropped on the city. Yamaguchi somehow survived, and while injured, he brushed the dirt off his shoulder and returned home to Nagasaki. Yamaguchi wouldn't let this terrible event keep him from his routine. He went back to work at Mistubishi Heavy Industries on the 9th, the very day of the second blast. He was, in fact, telling his supervisor about the terrible experience when the second bomb was dropped. Incredibly, not only did Yamaguchi survive this blast as well, but he was completely unharmed. Get this man to Vegas! Crashing your car into a truck while driving down the road would typically fall into the category of bad luck. For Bill Morgan, however, this tragic event gave him a second chance at life. Though legally dead for 15 minutes and then taken off life support by a grieving family, Bill made an astounding recovery. He spent 12 days in a coma and decided he had to do something to celebrate his good luck. Bill bought a scratch-it ticket, and much to his surprise, he won a brand new car! And the fun's not over yet. Bill went on a heater. The local radio station wanted to interview this living good luck charm and asked him to recreate the moment when he won his big prize. No one could believe their eyes when he won again. This time, Bill took home over $250,000. And it was all caught on tape. Pop quiz, hotshot! We all know that 4-leaf clovers are considered good luck charms. But do you know just how rare they are? We'll give you a few options to help you improve your chances. Are they A, 1 in every 10,000 cloves, B, 1 in every 25, or C, 1 in every 50,000? Leave your best guess in the comment section below and we'll see who's right by the end of the video. How many times can someone cheat death? If movies like Final Destination have taught us anything, it's that the Grim Reaper doesn't like losing. Frane Selak managed to escape death 7 times. Let's go rapid fire. Back in 1962, he was on a train that got derailed and he fell along with the passengers into a freezing river. He was one of the only ones to survive. In 1963, when flying for the first time, the plane that he boarded crashed, killing 19 people, but he survived. 3 years later, he was on a bus that fell into another river. This guy can't keep himself out of rivers. And then, a year after that, he accidentally shot himself in the testicles. He survived both accidents. Twice between 1970 and 1973, he got into a massive car accident where his vehicle caught on fire. Survived both times. In the early 90s, he got hit by a bus and escaped with only minor injuries. Finally, in 1997, he was driving on a mountain road, hit a guardrail, was ejected from his vehicle, and then the car fell 300 feet to the ground. He was fine. Unbelievably, his good luck hadn't ended yet. In 1999, Frane actually won the lottery. He took over $1 million home the day he turned 73. Oh, hey, didn't see you there. I hope you're liking the video. Now that we're here, I have an idea. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to, throw on those notifications because that way you'll never miss any of our newest content. And bonus, it actually helps other people to find the channel. This is a remote. Most people have the fortune of being able to say that they've never been struck by lightning. In that sense, Roy Sullivan might actually be one of the most unfortunate people on Earth because he's been hit not once by lightning, not twice, but 7 times over 35 years. What turns Roy into one of the luckiest people to ever live is that he survived all of them. Roy holds the Guinness record for being struck by lightning the most times. Congratulations. As a former national park ranger, he might have been more likely to get struck than the regular folks staying indoors, but still, what are the odds of it happening 7 times? What's most astounding is that not only did he survive, but he suffered relatively few injuries each time. He died of a completely non-lightning related issue in 1983. When thrift shopping, people don't expect to find actual treasures, but that's exactly what happened to Michael Sparks. Michael purchased an old, worn-out copy of the Declaration of Independence, which he thought was no more than a pretty replica. Being a history buff, he decided to take a closer look at his purchase when he got home. And that is when he had an incredible realization. He paid the meager cost of $2.48 for what he would soon discover was a real document worth $400,000. Sparks noticed that, though not an original, the document was an official copy, one of 200 distributed by President John Quincy Adams back in 1820. Nowadays, there are only 35 known surviving copies, and Sparks' find was the best preserved one found to date. Because of his fortunate find, Sparks is now enjoying an opulent pursuit of happiness. Up next is a California couple who chose not to reveal their identities to the press. But good luck surely knows their first, middle, and last name. While walking their dog on their property, a husband and wife noticed that their pooch had unearthed a large can from the ground. Surprised by how heavy it was, they took it into their home and discovered what was inside. Astonishingly, once they managed to open the lid, they discovered it was filled with gold. After that, the couple decided to do a little more digging around the property, and they discovered 8 more cans, all filled with gold pieces. 1,400 gold coins. This family literally found buried treasure in their backyard, worth $10 million. Give that dog a bone. LENA PAHLSEN certainly didn't consider herself to be a lucky person. I mean, can you blame her? Look at the spelling of that name. PAHLSEN? Ugh. Back in 1955, she lost her wedding ring. Though she looked all over the house, she couldn't find it anywhere. LENA and her husband accepted that it was gone and went shopping for a replacement. Years later though, LENA was in for a big surprise. It seemed that whatever she had done to offend Lady Luck had been forgiven because her ring came back in a most unexpected way. In 2012, LENA was harvesting the carrots in her garden when she discovered her long-lost wedding ring wrapped around some vegetables. This wasn't the first time that LENA had planted carrots, but she had never before thrown seeds around randomly the way that she did that year. Apparently, being whimsical and impulsive can have fortuitous benefits. Oh snap! I just said the word of the day, fortuitous. Fortuitous means happening by a lucky chance. Good synonyms would be serendipitous and fortunate. See if you can use fortuitous in a sentence in the comment section below, and we'll feature the most creative phrase in our next video. And big shout out to DJ Panabuef, I hope I'm saying that right. With insalubrious as the word of the day, DJ wrote, "I screamed so loud in my son's football game last night, it was insalubrious to my voice." Great sentence, DJ, and I'm sure your son appreciates the support. Being hit by lightning might sound like bad luck, but for Edwin Robinson, it was like getting struck with gold. That doesn't make sense. Edwin had been both blind and deaf for more than 9 years as a result of a road accident. One fortuitous night, Edwin walked out of his house during a thunderstorm while carrying his aluminum cane. He was apparently looking for chickens that had escaped their pen. His walking aid worked as a beacon for lightning, and he was struck while he tried to hide underneath a tree. The elderly man fainted and was later found by his wife. Amazingly, he didn't suffer any injuries. Against all odds, not only did Edwin wake up relatively unscathed, but he had recovered both his hearing and his vision. The doctors think that wearing rubber-shoed soles saved Edwin's life, but they still haven't figured out how he miraculously recovered 2 of his senses. Oh, you're deaf and blind? I got you. You're welcome. It's answer time. So, finding a 3-leaf clover is rather easy, but if you're looking for the coveted 4-leafer, you're gonna have a 1 in 10,000 shot. TERRI PREECE was just in the market for a delicious seafood dinner. What she found was a small treasure instead. The 49-year-old woman was moving to Spain, and so she decided to order 3 dozen oysters to serve at her farewell party. Little did she know that luck was on her side that day. When opening her very first oyster, she found a shiny pearl inside. Experts say that this is less than a 1 in 10,000 chance, since edible oysters rarely secrete these tiny treasures. Terry decided not to sell her pearl, which would have made her a few £100s richer. Instead, she handed it over to her coworker, who chipped it into a ring that's worth 500. Terry wears it every day and rightfully claims that it's her beautiful good luck charm. On the evening of January 26, 1972, Bruno Honky heard a screaming coming from a hillside just outside of his village in Czechoslovakia. As he went to investigate, he came across a grisly sight: the wreckage of an airplane that had been torn apart by an explosion. Though it seemed impossible that anyone could have survived the crash, Bruno soon realized that there was a young woman wearing a flight attendant's uniform that was still alive. VESNA VULOVIC was a flight attendant who had been working on the same airline for about 8 months when the accident occurred. She wasn't even supposed to be on the plane that day. Another attendant, who was also named Vesna, had been called, but she didn't show up, so our Vesna accepted the shift. Mid-flight, an explosion in the baggage compartment broke the plane apart, causing 27 people to lose their lives. Vesna was gravely injured, but she somehow survived the 33,000-foot fall and was then assisted by a doctor who luckily happened to be close by where the plane crashed. She managed to break the world record. Up until then, no one had survived such a fall without using a parachute. Thanks for watching, YouTube. What is the luckiest thing that's ever happened to you? Besides this video showing up in your newsfeed, of course. Share it with the gang below and we'll see who's the luckiest person on YouTube. Check back soon for a new video and don't forget to subscribe and like and share and all the good stuff. Bye-bye.